So in this video of drawing dynamic poses from reference using Pinterest, I chose these two poses. And so with this first one, I chose this pose because I figured this one's kind of more of a balancing act with this pose. So I wanted to use this one. So I started with the head first, and I'm kind of working my way towards the rest of the body and drawing the cylinder for the neck. You know, neck is going straight back since the body is tilted to the side, and it kind of has like a little slight bend to it. And she's balancing on the little balancing thing, whatever it's called. And I'm adding in the cylinder for the leg. I'm trying to get that stretch out because it's going straight up, leading into that foot on the side. Adding the foot, and I'm trying to, figure out and position the body to what I see in the reference, and kind of try to. It's like trying a way to figure out what's going on. So I added that shoulder, the circle, and the circle is kind of like it's overlapping behind the neck area and the torso, because you're kind of, it's to the it's at an angle and behind, so you have to kind of like draw to show that when you're drawing the circle. I mean, you can draw the circle straight out, but it's good to just draw like a little moon-shaped curve to kind of show that. Now this shoulder is straight down, which I kind of drew the circle down to, further below. I'm adding in the cylinder for the arm. Trying to work that shape in because the arm is bouncing onto the mat. I want to kind of show that. And the elbow is kind of a little bit hidden behind the hip, so it didn't really draw the elbow out too much. And I'm adding in the balancing mat to kind of get a general idea of the hand placement. And drawing the hand is similar to the method I've been using before, where I kind of just start to use the cylinders for each of the fingers. And adding the 3 cylinders for the fingers is, a way of showing it in 3D space when you're trying to figure things out. Because you're not really drawing or showing the 3 cylinders when you're adding the details. It's just for you to know how the fingers will look in 3D space when you start to add, the fingernail and the wrinkles and things like that. It's just to give you an indication of how to get it done. So I'm placing it right on the little mat. I'm just darkening up a little bit more, so I can kind of see a little bit better. I could have just left it lightly, but I wanted to go in there and decide to draw it out, add it in there. Originally, I didn't want to add the balancing mat in there, but I wanted to kind of just add it in. That way, you're not visually seeing it without the mat there. I'm adding in the leg, and this leg is foreshortened, so I didn't really add too many shapes. Sometimes when I'm drawing foreshortened shapes, I don't really like to add a lot of the shapes. I know you've seen me add circles for the knees before, but sometimes when I'm drawing foreshortened, I just like to overlap a lot of the shapes, basically mainly the cylinders. So I'm adding in the foot. Foot is kind of bent forward a little bit or downward. So kind of just drawing that. Darken up some of the lines. And the pose is not too hard. I mean, when you start to figure out, how to use those cylinders and circles for the different shapes, the poses are, start to get easy to do. You see, this one was done quickly. Drawing, the circle for the head, circle for the chest, circle for the waist, circle for the midsection. The pose is done right away. And there'll be a lot of questions of when I like to draw the square for the head and a circle for the head, or a square for the body. It all depends. Sometimes I will draw the square for the body if I'm doing, a perspective, or sometimes I won't. And for a lot of shortened poses, I like to do some boxes, but I mainly would do circles. So it all depends on the situation. Now with this one, I chose Guts from the manga series Berserk. And this one, he's in kind of like a kneeling pose, holding a giant sword. So let me draw that one. Since this is another manga I like to read, so I want to add a little pose from that one. So right now I'm measuring everything out. Circle for the chest, circle for the midsection, circle for the waist, and circle for the knees. And you see I'm placing the circle for the knees first because I want to know the distance between the legs that's going out, and towards the shoulders. I'm trying to figure things out. And that's why I like to place the shapes. You place the shapes, and it's kind of a way of measuring things before you start to add in the different cylinders for the body parts. So right now I'm just measuring everything out, eyeballing the distance, that we know how much to do, how far of the page you're going to fill up. So now I'm adding in the cylinder for the forearm. It's going down. Adding in the hand. Now I'm correcting the circle for that left knee because I think I had it a little bit too far down, so I wanted to kind of bring it up a little bit more because the leg is bent because that left foot is a little hidden behind that hand. I'm adding in the calf on the right side. It's coming in right into his leg or into his foot. His foot has that slight little bend to it. Put it straight. Adding in the hand, the same method as I've done before, with a circle for the knuckles, and then the cylinders for the fingers. I could draw the fingers straight out, but it looked better for me to draw it this way. I think if I drew it straight out without separating the cylinders for the fingers, I think the fingers would probably look funny. So I said, well, let me just add in all the cylinders. That way you kind of see the fingers a little bit better. And I'm working in the arm on the right side that's holding his giant blade. Just circle for where the elbow would be, but you can't really see the elbow because it's hidden. I'm adding in the line for where the sword is going to go, just so I can get a general idea when I start to place the hand and things like that. I'm adding a center line right now to show the bend with him kneeling, hunched over. I want to work in that sword a little bit. I mean, since it was, Guts' sword, I decided to draw it out a little bit rather than just drawing a straight stick. So I'm drawing in the handle, where I can kind of show the placement of the hand a little bit better. Getting the shape of the sword in. It's all about eyeballing it, looking at all the big shapes, and then dropping it all down. That line there. I'm adding in started adding in the hand. So I'm adding in knuckles first. I always have to place knuckles. Circle for knuckles first before the fingers is my method for adding hands that's gripping onto things, because you can kind of build it like building blocks. That's the way I think of shapes when I'm doing these poses. I'm adding that forearm, foreshorten, connect it to that hand. Just filling in some of that arm. A lot of it you can't really see in the reference since he's wearing full-on heavy armor. Adding just little small pieces to make it close to the reference a little bit. But that's it for this video. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to hype it up, hit the like button, subscribe, comment for anything else you want to see, and take care.